I started working for TH Motorsports a while back, and TH Motorsports was a sponsor of Grid Life, one of early on. So they were the owner of Grid Life, Chris, and the owner of TH Motorsports, Eddie, were friends, and Eddie would bring in all of us to go to Grid Life, and if we wanted to drive, he'd get us tickets and just make it happen. Well, I was kind of reluctant because I personally didn't have a car to drive. But my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, did. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to borrow your 05 STi for this weekend, and we're going to do some basic modifications to it. So we're gonna fix some injectors and put it on top feeds and E85 so it's good and safe, and just some basic stuff. And then Graham and I, who happened to be in town from tuning that weekend, he was out here tuning. He was living in Iowa at that time, and he'd crash at my place.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, let's go and do this thing. We'll just co-drive your car. I'll tune your car. We'll put all this stuff together, and let's just go. So I ended up showing up a day late, and him and I still drove for 2 days. Had an absolute riot. And that was the first time on track since my insane amount of time in Forza. And it translated really well.
Really?
I was significantly faster. It took me a little bit to learn Gingerman, but I mean, I don't want to say anything bad against Graham because it wasn't his car, so I can understand why he wouldn't push it, but I annihilated Graham. And I was running right out of the gate pretty damn competitive times to the guys in Street Mod, even, with a car that was pretty damn close to stock.
Yeah.
So we had a riot. Like, straight out of the gate, had a total riot. And Eddie's like, yo, if you want to go to more of these, just let me know, and we'll try to make it happen. And so then Autobahn came up, and I went to Autobahn, and that was a total riot. And I drove at Autobahn, and these guys started to know me as the guy from TH, it's this nut job in a Subaru. And I was only running HPDE, but, we were all having a good time. But I kept looking at my times using Harry's lap timer and going, I could run with these dudes. It really, really came to a head when we went to Road Atlanta, and I looked at my time, and I would have been second at Road Atlanta with the time that I ran in a stock turbo car and in Street Mod. But I was running in intermediate HPDE, and I'm like, okay, we need to do something here.
Right.
So Graham had also started bringing his car out. Graham and I both said, okay, next year we're doing the whole thing. We're doing Time Attack the whole year. We're just doing it.
Is this still with the STi?
This was still with the Silver STi.
Okay.
So we're doing Time Attack the whole year. So we came out the next year. That was the first time they ever ran Mid-Ohio. We came out to Mid-Ohio. We both entered in Street Mod. The only reason I was in Street Mod is because I was on E85. Mm-hmm. So we both entered into Street Mod. I had a stock turbo and some basic modifications, no aero, still a full interior, it full weight car. Like it really wasn't even thought out whatsoever. Some Fortunatos, like 50,000 miles on them. Like that car was a shit show. Graham was there with upper 500s. If anybody knows anything about Graham's, championship winning, 11 STi sedan, like he won Street Mod that year by a landslide. That was the first year he'd ever done Time Attack.
Yeah.
So he came out and annihilated everybody. And he did it with just gobs of horsepower. Nobody was even ready for it.
Right.
But I ended up getting fourth. I was pissed. Oh, man, I was pissed. I can't even tell you how mad I was. And then I'm looking at the rules, and I'm like, are you shitting me? The only thing keeping me in this class... That's how I learned to read rules, by the way. Oh. The only thing keeping me in this class is the fact that I have E85.
Oh.
So I went to 100 octane and dropped down to HPD Plus, which was what they now call Street.
Drops you down?
From E85, yeah.
Interesting.
They will not let you... Well, they do now. Don't even get me started on that. So what I did is read the rules. The rules stated no ethanol. So I'm like, okay, I'll run it on 100 octane instead of 93. What they wanted to do is make the rules say, hey, pump 93. They didn't say that. They just said no ethanol. So, again, learn to read the rules.
Right.
Kids, if I can give you any advice, it's read the damn rules. So I put it on 100 octane because you run a Subaru on 93, beating it that hard, I'm going to put motors in at every event.
Yeah.
So put it on 100 octane, did a couple more tweaks, and if I would have been on 100 octane, which I would have made the same amount of power,
Yeah.
I would have won by 3 seconds in HPD plus. I'm like,
Really?
I was so mad. You have no idea. I'm like, all this damn effort, and I don't even go home with a damn trophy. So I come out in HPD plus at that first Grid Life event, and that's when Spaz and I met. And that was at Grid Life Midwest 2016. Yeah, that's when Spaz and I really started.
There goes a sight from my soul.